Hey friend, if you've been following the same nutrition plan for the last 2 years, 3 years, 8 years or more, and you still are working towards those same fat loss goals, this video is for you. Hi, I'm Coach Jody. I help midlife women master their metabolism in this chapter of their lives and without losing their minds. I'm a board certified health and wellness coach with a PhD in nutrition. I've actually been coaching for over 30 years, and I'm also a natural pro bodybuilder and judge. And I am so pleased that I'm a living kidney donor. So today I want to invite you into a conversation that I had with one of my clients who asked an excellent question. Now, she's around 180 pounds, and she said, well, how come my coach gave me a meal plan with only 1,450 calories? And I agree, that is a low amount. So if you too have followed an extreme nutrition plan, maybe it was for 30 days, maybe it was a challenge, a 6-week, 8-week, then I'm going to share 4 reasons with you today why that plan is no longer serving you. And my disclaimer here is I am one of those coaches who wrote some challenge meal plans. They do have their place. They can help you to be very, very successful. But the thing of it is they are designed for short-term compliance, not your long-term health. And I'm going to give you a great example for this first point. So if you have cruised around the internet, you've seen and worked with some macro calculators. Some of the macro calculators default to 40, 40, 20, 40% carbs, 40% protein, 20% fat. And that's a macro split I could get on board with, and I do recommend for short-term plans. It's actually a macro split that I would recommend to a bodybuilder as they begin competition prep, but it's not designed for long-term. And the challenges are great because they do create urgency, but they're not designed for sustainability. And for most people, that is not a macro split you can follow for the long haul. So if you had that strategy, but you didn't have an exit plan, what you had was a trap. And I'm sorry for that. But that is one reason that's no longer serving you. Second, what you might have learned and why it backfired. So with those plans, you didn't necessarily learn how to eat, but you did learn how to game the numbers. And look, I go into competition prep with those low fats. I get it. I know how it is. It makes it very compelling when your fat bucket is this big and it fills up very fast. It makes it very compelling to invite in products like 0-calorie sweeteners, so diet sodas, low-calorie products like diet dressings, because yeah, you want some freaking flavor, but what we learn to ask is, can I make this fit? And not the better question, which is this serving me? So it's not a win if it fits your macros, but it wrecks your hunger, it wrecks your digestion, and it wrecks your relationship with food. Hitting the numbers is not the same as nourishing your body. Third reason, these plans are no longer serving you. The challenge ended, but the rules didn't. So something that these plans don't intend to do, but absolutely do, is they can impose a standard, a mental standard that, oh, this is the bar now. This is the bar at which I have to hit for my nutrition. I have to hit this protein amount. I have to hit these carbs and these fats, and I have to do it aggressively and perfectly. Otherwise, I'm wasting my time, my money, my efforts, and it's really easy to fall off a plan like that. Another reason why it's not designed for long term. So when the challenge or that plan ended, your life stress didn't. Your calories stayed low, even when stress escalated. And those temporary rules became permanent habits in your mind. So you don't fail the diets actually expire. And that's the difference. And then fourth, with these extreme eating plans, dieters' mentality definitely creeps in or threatens to. Things like food vigilance, which can be exhausting. You're always thinking about food, you're thinking about that next meal. Your life's revolving around food rather than food fitting into your life. You maybe have fear around fats, you have food guilt, and consciously or subconsciously, you may believe that eating more means that you're losing control, which is not true. So rather than focus on that, I want to empower you instead. And I want to remind you that sustainable fat loss looks boring when compared to these challenges. And yet that's why it works. So, in my experience as a coach, people don't want to hear about the unsexy things. But the truth is, that is where some of the most magnificent progress lies. And that real progress requires evolving, not clinging to those past rules. All right, so your body didn't change. Your strategy just outlived its usefulness. So today, if you feel stuck, I want you to know you didn't fail. You just needed that next step after the challenge, that exit plan, right? You don't need another reset right now. You just need a plan that grows with you. And look, what worked in your 20s may have worked in your 30s, but after 40, your body gets wise to a lot of things and your body goes through some changes. So a different chapter requires a different approach. So I want you to ask yourself this: am I still eating for a finish line that expired a long time ago and doesn't exist anymore? So we need to define a new destination. And if you like what you hear about my process so far, I'll encourage you to like, follow, subscribe, and visit the website, Wright-Sized meal prep magic. If you are looking to refresh your meal prep routine or start a meal prep routine, this is an awesome place to start. The meals are macro friendly, they're packed with protein, and yes, they do have flavor. I wouldn't fail you on that. Okay, so you can download Meal Prep Magic, cruise around the site, watch some videos, and I'll leave you with one more thing. Do something good for yourself today that you're going to be grateful for tomorrow.